Whatever the price point of a particular device, one thing is for certain. Smartphone cameras have come a long way and point and shoot cameras are no longer needed as most smartphones usually have better quality and more features. However, the rapid rate of growth in camera tech in the past couple of years might have set unrealistic goals for smartphones, especially in the lower price point. This is Sandeep from RevAtlas. Let's see how the cameras on the Redmi 5A perform. The 5A features a 13 megapixel f2.2 camera at the back along with a single LED flash. The image quality is pretty decent and there is decent detailing too. Pixel peeping does reveal a lot of noise reduction being applied as well as some weird artifacts, but is not unusable and is in fact pretty good when you look at it without zooming. The slight issue when focusing onto close objects and you may have to retry on some occasions. There's a bit of a shutter lag and also a processing time, especially in HDR mode where you need to wait for around 2 seconds for the HDR algorithm to kick in. I don't mind the processing time. Even the Google Pixel phones need time to process certain things, but the shutter lag requires you to be completely stable in order to get a sharp image. You might take a few days to get used to waiting for a moment after pressing the shutter button before moving your phone. The dynamic range is below average and using the HDR mode does help things a tiny bit, but mostly HDR photos only help increase the saturation of the photo and don't expect big things when it comes to recovering information from the shadows or saving the highlights. Surprisingly, photos under low light didn't perform as bad as I expected. The images aren't too noisy, courtesy of the noise reduction being applied, however this results in less detail and sharpness. The phone shoots in HHD low light mode when under low light or night conditions and that at times yields weird purple tint across images. What I found to be better is to use the HDR mode in low light since it gives more pleasing colors as well as a more well exposed image. The only thing you need to keep in mind is having to hold the phone steady for a bit longer. There's a tilt shift mode that can be used to apply a circular or parallel blur onto the photos that you take. It works, but the resulting images aren't too pleasing to look at. They are pretty artificial, but is perhaps the closest thing you'll come to replicating a shallow depth of field on this phone. The front-facing camera takes decent selfies. It's more or less what you have come to expect with the likes of the Redmi 4, Redmi Note 4, Mi A1, etc. It's a 5 megapixel f2 camera and it captures well-exposed images with good colors. However, it does lack in terms of sharpness and you also have to be quite steady in order to get a blur-free image. There's a beautify mode as well that smoothens your skin and you can choose to do it manually or have the phone choose one automatically for you. Video recording is available at full HD 1080p resolution, which is great considering many competing smartphones don't offer that even at a slightly higher price point. The videos carry sufficient detail, but they are jerky since there is no stabilization. What I was quite surprised with is the front-facing camera video. It can record 1080p resolution as well and it captures pretty good detail with good sharpness and exposure. In fact, I may even say that the front-facing camera video is better than the one at the rear. The stabilization also seemed better than the rear camera, even though there still isn't any OIS or EIS being applied onto the videos. It really does justice for a phone that costs 5k rupees. So this is the front-facing camera of the Redmi 5A taking videos. Let me know how the overall quality is, how's the stabilization, the exposure, sharpness, as well as how well it's recording my voice right now. My voice is a bit down right now, but if you're still able to hear it amidst all the noise that's coming from the background, then that means that this is picking up my noise pretty well and the microphones are functioning very well as well. I had spoken earlier about unrealistic expectations. It's easy to think that even a smartphone at 5k rupees will give us amazing cameras and then get disappointed by it. I knew I was definitely not going to get blown away by the camera on this thing. However, I'm definitely pleased that it didn't suck. For 5k rupees, I don't think that you could or you should be expecting anything more than this. It does pretty well at what it sets out to do, and while it won't win any awards, for most users who are getting this phone as their first smartphone or first smartphone with a decent camera, this should be more than enough and will be a massive enabler for them as they'll have a camera with them always. As Chase Jarvis once said, the best camera is the one you have with you. The Redmi 5A is available from the link in the description below in case you are interested. That's it for the video guys, thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to our channel if you like this video and see you again in the next one.